a comprehensive look at trends, fund profiles, and more in Exploring ETFs.
Hi everyone, welcome to Exploring ETFs. I'm Neena Mishra, and today we are talking about cybersecurity stocks and ETFs. And these had done very well last year, and they are breaking out again in the past few weeks. So I thought it would be a good time to discuss them. And we know that our world is becoming increasingly digital and interconnected, and the pandemic accelerated that trend of digitization. But with digitization, the risks of security breaches and attacks have also increased. And we have seen some very high-profile ransomware attacks recently. There was one on Colonial Pipeline, which basically disrupted the fuel supply to the East Coast for many days. And there was one on US division of JBS SA, which is the world's largest meat company. So, and President Biden held a cybersecurity summit at the White House recently. And he met with the top CEOs of all the world's largest companies. And he said this issue is the core national security challenge that we are facing. And after that summit, many CEOs announced increased spending on cybersecurity systems. And some of these stocks have been on the move for various reasons. For example, CrowdStrike surged after it was announced that it is being added to the Nasdaq 100 index. And some of these companies like Palo Alto, Datadog, Cloudflare, these reported excellent earnings recently. Zscaler reported excellent earnings last quarter, and it is due to report this week, scheduled report this week. So all these stocks have done very well. And lastly, I saw that IronNet, which went public just about a week back through a SPAC, that is surging today. At one point, it was up more than 100% because of mentions on Reddit and other internet forums. Now, we normally don't talk about these short-term moves, but long-term outlook for these stocks remains very attractive because there is increased need to strengthen our cyber defenses, and the spending on cybersecurity products and services will go up significantly in the coming years. We'll take a look at 4 ETFs in this space. So the first one I'm highlighting is the oldest in this space. It is the ticker symbol HACK, and this launched a little before the very high-profile Sony attack, and that is why it was one of the most successful ETF launches ever. It gathered $1 billion within few weeks of its launch. It follows a modified equal weighting scheme. So basically, it selects by market capitalization, and within certain segments, those holdings are equally weighted. Has an expense ratio of 20 basis points and $2.5 billion in assets. To learn more about this ETF, you can go to the quote page on Zacks.com, read our research report articles, and from there, using the link, you can go to ETFMG webpage for this ETF and look at the holdings, and you will see that these are the top holdings and almost equal weights: Darktrace, Cloudflare, Cisco, Fortinet, Splunk, Palo Alto, CyberArk. The second one I'm highlighting is by First Stress, and this is actually now the largest in this space, and that is because HACK has had some legal challenges in the past couple of years. There was disagreement between the creator and the ETF provider, so that is why some investors, they moved out of HACK into cyber, and this has done better too because of its focus on certain holdings which have done very well lately. This follows a liquidity weighting scheme, same expense ratio, but $4.9 billion in assets, making it the largest in the space. Again, to learn more, let's go on the quote page on Zacks.com. And from there, the first trust web page for this ETF. Now you will see that because of greater focus on Zscaler, CrowdStrike, this and Cloudflare too, this that has resulted in better performance for this ETF. Not necessarily saying that this may continue, but this explains the outperformance. The third one I'm highlighting is by iShares Cybersecurity and Tech ETF, IHAK. This follows a market cap rating scheme, 47 basis points in expense ratio and 683 million in assets. Again, to learn more, let's go to the external homepage. You can read about its details, what kind of methodology it adopts, and then also look at the top holdings: Zscaler, Fortinet, CrowdStrike, DocuSign, Palo Alto. These are among the top holdings in this ETF. The last one which I am highlighting is by Global X, excellent ticker symbol, BUCK. This follows a modified market cap rating scheme, 50 basis points in expense ratio and 773 million in assets. I have done a podcast with Global X, and you can listen to that podcast, read our research report, articles, and go to the external home page, Zscaler, Fortinet, CrowdStrike, Palo Alto. These are the top holding in the ETF. You can look at other details too. US has about 74% weightage in the portfolio, allocation in the portfolio. Israel, which many Israeli companies are pioneer in this space, so that explains 12% allocation to Israeli companies in this ETF. Now on the last slide, I have the competitive performance versus the S&P 500 index. You will see that the First Trust and Global X products, Cyber and Bug, they are up about 55% over the past year. The other two have also done pretty well, up about 42%, whereas the S&P 500 index is up about 32% over this period. And in full disclosure, I own IHAK in the ETF investor portfolio that I manage. Thanks for watching. Make sure to check out Zacks.com/promo for an interesting offer, and also make sure to subscribe to our videos, our video channel, so that you do not miss anything. And I will see you next week.